Hello and welcome to this first part of my build of Rye-filled model StuG 4 with full interior. This is not intended in any way to be a how-to video because I'm not that good of a modeler. I'm just an average knucklehead building models for fun. And as you can see here, this is the paint callouts for the interior of this model. And all the walls are to be painted in creme weiss, and the floor and the engine bay and so on needs to be painted in rot brown. So I was thinking quite a lot how to do this if I was to assemble the hull and add the floor and the firewall before I started putting all the rest of the details in, or if I'm gonna build it according to the instructions, and I've decided to go with the later. So let's get started and see what we can do. So as you can see, I've painted up the walls and the floor, the front and the back, and during this build I will try to not bore you with details like cutting the parts of the sprue or painting. So let's have a look at the instructions. So as you can see, the first step is building the floor, and that's been done. Also step A1 has been completed. I've drilled the holes in part A2, and in step 2 I've also drilled the hole. So let's get started with step 3 here and start building. The parts are fairly tight fit, so it's almost like a snap fit to build the chassis up. I'd also like to thank any and all subscribers to my channel, and to anyone watching this video. If you would be kind to like, comment, subscribe, that would be appreciated. Like I said, I'm a new modeler and this is only my second video posted to YouTube, so you have to bear with me. And if you have any comments regarding my videos, please post them and I'll read and try to improve. So basically this is how the hull goes together. Let's try to get some glue on this. Yeah, I realize I painted some of the details here in the incorrect color, so I will do that off cam before I put this part on back on. Like I said, there are no color callouts in the manual, so it's quite easy to make mistakes when it comes to color. Okay, the sides and the front have been glued to the hull, so now it's time to add the back. So I will just place it here. And we take double glue. There we go, and as you can see, I painted those parts white, so they stand out a bit more. Okay, now it's time for some really funny stuff. As you can see here, we have a couple of bolts that we need to add, or not bolts, nuts. And if you look at the sprue here, just where I show with my finger, you can see these nuts, and they are about 1 millimeter in diameter. So in order to place them, I had to buy one of these things, and it's really good. It's a wax pen, and I don't know if you can see this, but I'll try to zoom. There we have one of those nuts, and it goes in these positions. So we take a double glue, put it there, then we use this wax pen to hold the part, then we simply just attach it to where we want it. Take the knife and just move it into position, and that saves the parts and keeps you from having them ping off the tweezers. I have done this side, all 8 of them, and I'll do the rest of these off cam, because there's no need for you to watch me sit and do 8 of these. So instead I'll move on to the next big parts, and it's the road wheel or return rollers, and also part of the suspension. And it's these things here marked in blue, and you need to do 8 of these wheels, and you need to do 10 of these. But like I said, there's no need for you to watch me do a bunch of these, so I'll do them off cam. If I can just hold the piece. So just a double glue, squeeze it together, and then it goes in the parts box. And I'll actually prime these and paint them up before I put them on the model. And next we have here, I don't know if you can see, but there's a small hole here, and this slag on this part goes into that hole. Oh. So this model contains a fair bit of small pieces, and it will be fiddly as heck to try to complete it. But as you can see with this wax pen, you can actually hold the part and put it in place, and it lets go immediately. I tried to use blue tack for this, but the blue tack is too sticky in my opinion, and the wax pen is working perfectly. So here we go, and this will eventually go on the side, upside down. It will go on here, and you will have one here, one here, one here, and two here. These two hatches over here, I have actually forgotten to paint creme-wise on the inside here, and they go here as you can see, and now it's showing pretty good, so I need to paint those before I can continue with this. So they go in the box for now. And we're going to fit these two hooks and these bushings for the road wheels. So let's start with the hooks. We'll attach this. Here. And the other side. Get some glue under there. And then we start with this. And the final two on this side. And the road wheels I don't want to glue just yet, because I fear I will just rip them off, so they will be done at a later stage. I do have a tendency to break stuff off, so that's why I'm gonna leave them off for now. This doesn't look to be as sensitive as the others, so they are not protruding as much, so that's why I think I can get away with gluing them. They feel pretty good. So let's move on to the next stage, which will be these track guards, but again they have quite flimsy pieces here, so I'll wait with them until a later stage so I don't break those off either. So instead we will focus on the back with the engine mounts and this box here. And they are all painted and prepared. So we go on with the glue. Sorry if I was out of picture for a while. There we go. And then we have these two, and they go in the back here. And these are handed, as you can see, so we need to check. This one goes on the left. Like that, and then this one goes on the right over here. There we go. And then we have this tank that will, this box that will sit over here. So we'll put the double glue here. Then we just drop this one in like that. So that's step number 6 completed. And then we have for step 7, we have these 2 angled brackets, and then we have a piece of photo etch that we need to attach. And also this part where I have noticed I have forgotten to paint the relays white. So this one will also be put in the spares box for now. And we will do those later. There we go. And then we have the second one, which goes here. There we go. And then finally I need my knife. That's over here. I'm going to take the paint off of this small tab. And we take a dab of super glue. Use this glass to put the small drop. There we go. I think I need some more glue. We go wild and crazy and we put the glue directly on the part instead. Or not. There we go. Yay, we're done. So the next step is actually building the engine. And for the engine, I've been looking at the color callouts here in the paint instructions, and it's pretty poor. So I've actually downloaded MiniArt's instruction for their StuG 3 in 16th scale, and I've had a look at their color callouts. So I will be doing some artistic license on the motor, and excuse me, I will be doing quite a lot of detail painting. So I will build some parts up and then I will go to painting, and then when I come back I will have the engine painted and done, ready for installation, which will be the next step after building the engine. But we start with the engine. I have these pieces here, they are all cleaned up and ready to go. So we start with these two. I just need to figure out which part is which. This one goes here, so that's the way they go together. And then we have this part that goes here. Or at least so I thought. No, I have the engine block the wrong way around, so it goes here. There we go. We glue this from the inside. Give it a slight squeeze. Take the other side, and again we put some glue in here from the inside. Give it a squeeze. And as you can see, it's fairly nicely detailed. At least I hope you can see it. And then we have this piece that goes on here, and it's a fairly tight squeeze, so we'll see how we manage to put it here. Perfect, it actually slid in place first time around. And these two parts I'll hold off from gluing on because they need to be painted in a separate color from the rest of the engine. Excuse me. So I'll put them in the spare box for now. Then we have these parts, and most of them are actually separate colors except for this one, so we'll place this one on here. And it helps if we do it on the right side. make sure that it's level. Like I said, this one is black, these are black and aluminium, this is steel, this is gunmetal, and these are steel, I think, black and aluminium. This is aluminium, but these parts are the same color as the engine, so we can go ahead and glue them together. These pieces are also handed, so we make sure we get the correct one. And we give it a squeeze. And then this one goes in here. Like this. And I don't think I need to worry about the seams because these leads will go on here. So we can glue this part in place. We put some glue on the inside as well. There we go. So this will all be German grey. And then we can take these two pieces, L51 and L52, and we can glue them together. We put some glue here and squeeze it together. And it can all be cleaned up later. And these are all single colors. This one I forgot to glue on the engine.
Since it has the same color as the rest of the engine, I might as well put it on. And then the next step is these need to be painted separately. This one we can assemble, and then we have to go to painting and do this up. As some of the parts will have up to 3 colors, if I remember correctly. Some of them are 2 colors and a few of them have 3 colors. So we give that one a squeeze. We put some glue over here as well. Put this one on. And a little glue there. So, and this is where I will leave you today, and when I get back the engine will be detailed and ready to put into the hull together with the firewall in the next step, and then we'll take a look at building the fuel tank, put the fuel tank in, and maybe I'll leave most of this off, and then instead we'll move on to building the clutch, because that way I can prime this and paint it so it's all ready for the return rollers. But that will be for the next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.